There's a moment in everyone's life when they realize that the gap between who they are and who they want to be is not about luck, talent, or even opportunity. It's about something quieter, something less glamorous, something no one posts on social media because it doesn't look exciting. That something is self-discipline. We love the idea of motivation. We love that rush of energy we feel when we hear an inspiring speech, when we watch a powerful movie scene, when we read words that stir our soul. And yet, that feeling fades. It disappears the moment life demands something uncomfortable from us. Motivation is the spark, yes, but self-discipline is the fire. Without it, the spark dies in seconds. With it, you can keep the fire alive for years. Self-discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about living in a constant state of restriction or denying yourself all pleasures. It's about making a choice, a conscious choice, to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about understanding that your future self is built on the actions your present self takes. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people never learn how to do this because we've been taught to prioritize comfort over growth. Think about it. The modern world is designed to make things easier. Food at the push of a button, entertainment in seconds, the illusion that we can have anything instantly. But ease is a double-edged sword. The more comfort we have, the less tolerant we become of discomfort, and the less capable we are of doing hard things consistently. And here's the problem. All the meaningful goals in life require doing hard things consistently. The body you want? It's not built in a day. It's built in months, years, of choosing healthy meals when you'd rather have fast food, of going to the gym when you're tired, of waking up early when your bed feels like paradise. The career you dream of? It's not built from sudden bursts of genius. It's built from showing up every day, even on days you feel uninspired, from pushing through boring tasks that no one applauds you for, from grinding through the parts no one sees. Self-discipline is not an inborn talent. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be developed. The problem is, most people wait to feel ready before they start. They wait for the right mood, the right time, the right level of energy. But here's the truth. Self-discipline begins when you take action despite not feeling ready. When you do it tired, when you do it afraid, when you do it bored. And that's why self-discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this right now? Self-discipline says, it doesn't matter how I feel. This is what I do. There's a reason military training is so effective at creating discipline. It's not because soldiers are born stronger or braver than the rest of us. It's because they are trained to act according to a standard, not according to a mood. They wake up at the same time every day. They make their bed perfectly. They run. They train. They endure. Not because they feel like it, but because that's the standard. And in life, if you raise your personal standard, you automatically raise your results. But here's what no one tells you. Self-discipline feels terrible in the beginning. Your mind rebels. Your body protests. Every part of you screams for the comfort you're leaving behind. You'll hear the voice in your head whisper, "Why are you doing this? It's not worth it. You can start tomorrow." That's the test. That's the moment most people fail. Not because they lack ability, but because they confuse discomfort with danger. Your mind tries to convince you that stepping into discomfort is a threat. But the truth is, it's the gateway to everything you've ever wanted. Every successful person you admire has walked through that gateway. They have endured mornings when they didn't want to wake up early. They've pushed through workouts when they were exhausted. They've written pages when the words wouldn't come. They've made the calls when they were afraid of rejection. They didn't wait for inspiration. They acted without it. And here's the paradox. The more you practice self-discipline, the less you rely on motivation. The more you keep promises to yourself, the more you trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you stop needing external validation to keep going. You stop looking for signs, for approval, for the perfect moment. You just do the work, because that's who you are now. We live in a culture obsessed with quick fixes. Lose weight in 10 days, get rich in 30 days, learn a language in a week. And when it doesn't work, people quit. But self-discipline teaches you something most people never learn. The process is the reward. Every day you show up is a victory. Every day you take a step forward, even a small one, you're winning. But to truly understand the power of self-discipline, you need to let go of one of the biggest lies society has sold you, that your feelings should decide your actions. Feelings are temporary. They're influenced by weather, by sleep, by hunger, by the last conversation you had. But your commitments, those should be permanent. And the only way to make them permanent is through discipline. So here's the first truth to hold on to. Self-discipline is not a prison. It's freedom. Freedom from the chaos of acting on impulse. Freedom from the guilt of broken promises to yourself. Freedom from the regret of knowing you could have done more, but didn't. And once you taste that freedom, you'll never want to live without it. If the first truth of self-discipline is that it's not a prison, but a path to freedom, the second truth is this. Self-discipline is not built in a single day. It's built in layers, like the foundation of a house. And if you skip the foundation, no matter how beautiful the walls look, the whole structure will collapse. We often overestimate what we can do in a week and underestimate what we can do in a year of consistent effort. That's why so many people fail at building self-discipline. They go all in for a short burst, burn out, and then quit. The key is to start small and then build relentlessly. Step 1. Start ridiculously small. When you want to change your life, the temptation is to go big. To wake up at 5 a.m., run 5 miles, meditate, read for an hour, write for another hour, cook all your meals, and go to bed early, all starting on Monday. But here's the truth. Your brain is wired to resist sudden, drastic change. It sees it as a threat. And when your brain feels threatened, it will do everything to pull you back into comfort. So, start small. Ridiculously small. Want to build a morning routine? Start by waking up just 15 minutes earlier. Want to exercise daily? Start with 5 push-ups. Want to read more? Start with 2 pages a day. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to win over your own resistance. Why does this work? Because self-discipline grows from success, not from failure. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, you reinforce your identity as someone who follows through. And identity is the most powerful driver of behavior. Once you see yourself as the kind of person who works out, or the kind of person who writes every day, you'll naturally begin to expand those actions. Step 2. Remove the friction. Discipline isn't just about willpower, it's about design. The environment you create can either make discipline easier or almost impossible. If your phone is next to your bed, checking social media in the morning is effortless. If junk food is in your kitchen, eating it is effortless. And here's the thing. Humans will always take the path of least resistance. So, make the right choice, the easy choice. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put your phone in another room when you work. Prepare healthy snacks in advance. Reduce the friction between you and the action you want to take. The less energy it takes to start, the more likely you are to follow through. Step 3. Build routines, not goals. Goals are exciting. They give you direction. But goals don't get you results. Systems do. If you have a goal to get fit, that's great. But what's your system? Is it working out 4 times a week? Is it meal prepping every Sunday? Is it tracking your progress? Self-discipline thrives in routine because routine removes decision-making. You don't have to ask yourself, do I feel like doing this today? You simply do it because it's part of the plan. This is why elite athletes don't train only when they feel like it. They have a schedule. Writers don't publish books by writing when inspiration strikes. They write daily or weekly. The magic is not in the goal. It's in the boring, unglamorous repetition of the right actions. Step 4. Expect resistance and plan for it. People fail at discipline not because they face resistance, but because they're surprised by it. They think they'll always feel motivated. But there will be days when you feel exhausted, distracted, discouraged. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones expect those days and have a plan for them. Maybe your plan is to do a minimum version of your task on bad days, 10 minutes of writing instead of an hour, a short walk instead of a full workout. This keeps the chain of consistency alive, which is vital. Breaking the chain makes it twice as hard to start again. Step 5. Master the art of delayed gratification. In a world of instant everything, the ability to wait for a reward is a superpower. Self-discipline is essentially the art of choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure. But here's the trick. You don't have to deny yourself forever. You just have to delay. Finish your work before you watch the show. Complete your workout before you relax. Eat your healthy meal before having dessert. The brain learns to associate discipline with reward, and over time, the discipline itself becomes satisfying. Step 6. Forgive, but don't excuse yourself. There will be days you fail. That's not a question. It's a certainty. The danger is in what you do next. Many people miss one workout, eat one bad meal, or skip one day of writing, and then tell themselves, I've blown it. Might as well quit. But one mistake is not failure. It's feedback. Learn from it. Adjust. Get back on track immediately. The sooner you return, the less damage is done. Forgiveness is essential, but excusing yourself constantly is self-sabotage. Be compassionate with yourself, but also hold yourself to the standard you've chosen. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Why discipline equals freedom? It sounds like a paradox, but the more disciplined you are, the freer you become. Without discipline, you are at the mercy of your moods, cravings, and distractions. You spend your days reacting instead of creating. With discipline, you take control of your time, your energy, your life. You can choose your actions instead of being dragged by impulses. Freedom is not doing whatever you want whenever you want. That's chaos. True freedom is having the power to choose what's best for you and actually follow through. And that power only comes from self-discipline. Self-discipline in every area of life. In health, it means sticking to your habits even when progress is slow. In relationships, it means listening when you'd rather argue, showing up when you're tired, keeping promises even when it's inconvenient. In finances, it means saving before you spend, investing for the future instead of chasing instant gratification. In personal growth, it means learning daily, practicing skills, staying curious, especially when it's easier to just coast. When you realize that discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality, everything changes. Dreams are beautiful, but without discipline, they are just fantasies. Discipline is the tool that carves those dreams into existence, one deliberate action at a time. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you've built discipline in one area, it spills into others. The discipline you learn from consistent exercise helps you stay consistent in business. The discipline you build in managing your money helps you manage your time. It's all connected. The final truth is this: self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to live a life of constant effort. It's about creating a life where your habits carry you toward the future you want without constant struggle. Once you've built that momentum, discipline stops feeling like discipline. It feels like who you are. And if this resonated with you, the video appearing on your screen right now will help you take this even further. Click on it now and discover the next step in building the life you truly want. Don't wait. Your transformation begins with the next choice you make.